Hi guys, and welcome back. We are back in Broken Sword.
Attention! Please do not open the window, monsieur.
Don't you think it's kind of stuffy in here?
Better stuffy than dead.
What's the problem? Fumes from car exhausts?
Not just that, monsieur. There's a new burger bar opened up across the street. The Laughing Buffalo.
So what's the problem?
They cook their burgers on a charcoal grill, and the fat falls on the open flames. The amount of organic compound and smoke particles released is astounding. Since they opened, local air pollution has doubled, and it stinks like a funeral pyre.
Is it really?
That is why I keep the windows closed.
Okay, I'm going to bring you back. Okay, I've opened it. I was going to bring you back, but now I've sort of opened the window, so I'm going to wait for him to go and close the window. He's doing now. Sneak into the sarcophagus.
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, monsieur.
So who's closing? Is the guard closing? Yes. Lap and...
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight.
Oh, that was close.
What the... Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
What the... Is that Nico? Did Nico just like...
When I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor Georges.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean
Yay!
you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod.
We have.
Just how long have you known Lobineau?
Andre? We met at college. He helped me out when I was a fresh air. Showed me around, that sort of thing.
You never told me that before. I thought he was just a working acquaintance.
So he is. I rarely see him these days. You know, he hasn't changed much. A little less hair at the front, perhaps. I'd forgotten how much fun he could be.
Ah, Montifocon. There you go. Hopefully nothing is needed in left-hand side. So what happens when I put the gem... Oh, okay, or not. Gem on there.
Maybe not.
Oh, okay. What do this dude then?
Excuse me, officer. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You're American. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
Okay.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose.
The clown's out.
Very significant.
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
That wasn't very funny.
What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Delightful. Would you like to see some of my used tissues?
Hell no.
Then please put yours away.
Mine's not a used
Would you
tissue.
like to shake? I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart.
Would have
They'd
been
be
funny.
the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key. Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern.
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician.
Okay.
What do you think of this?
A blood pressure sleeve.
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long. What do you know about medieval ironmongery? Have a look at this little baby.
A tripod. What is it for?
You mean you don't know?
No, monsieur. Nor do you, I think.
Very true, I don't.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the so-so Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
We can't go up there and we can't go in the cafe. We can go up there. We'll talk to these people.
Desire to talk to the crowd.
Okay, what about the clown?
Hey, you with the balls.
Oui?
Okay.
Does this plaster interest you?
Well,
Forget it. Forget that I asked. Have you seen this man before?
no.
Look, a red nose.
How you say, whoop-de-doo.
Does this grease paint mean anything to you?
It looks like one of mine, or at least another jongleur.
Or a clown?
Mais naturellement, a clown.
Hardly a breakthrough. It didn't seem right to fry somebody's palm when they make their living with their hands.
It would have been funny.
This gadget is a sewer key.
I do not want it, thank you.
Well, I'm not selling it, I just wanted your opinion.
It is hardly my area of expertise.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
You smoke.
No, I don't.
In that case, it means nothing to me.
I guess though.
Does this lab pass mean anything to you?
You work in a lab.
No, try again.
You steal lab passes?
No. Well, not as a habit. This was a special case.
Oh,
What do you think of this?
It is a medical device, oui?
Feast your eyes on this.
Incroyable! Is it real?
I think so.
Some people believe that great gems always have curses upon them.
this one probably does as well.
Although, now that I think about it, both of the people who had this before me disappeared in mysterious circumstances. And the guy who was supposed to get this was shot and then murdered in his hospital bed. Do you want it?
No, thank you.
I've got a medieval tripod.
And my Uncle Claude has hemorrhoids. So what?
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No, I am a jongleur.
A jongler? What's that?
Mon Dieu. A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aeroballetic mysteries.
It's not something I can do, so
The courts of the crownheads of Europe.
it's definitely a skill.
Jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders, plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so. That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh,
Oh,
George.
it does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
I had no idea what I was doing.
I didn't think you
But
did.
this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be? A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult.
Well, crowd didn't like it much, obviously.
Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No.
No, I guess not. Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Le Templier? Ah, the last Grand Master, Jacques Dumoulin, was burnt on an island in the Seine in 1314.
Wow. You're pretty well educated for a juggler.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Alright, okay.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
There is a thing here, so can we...
Hey, you! What do you think you are doing? Leave that cover alone. Now,
Sorry, no harm intended.
you stay away from that.
Alright, so obviously we can't... We'll go upstairs. We'll see what's upstairs. Ooh, we're in a church. Okay.
I didn't have time to sit around.
Talk for the Monsieur. Monseigneur.
Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
I was in Ireland recently and I brought back this plaster.
My sister brought back a shillelagh.
Have you seen this man before?
No, I have never seen him before.
I've got a red nose.
Oui, so you have.
There's grease paint on this tissue.
Oui, you are correct.
I thought about using the shake and shock on him, but I couldn't do that to a priest. I have here a sewer key.
Ah, oui?
No way. That is not a good idea.
Okay, why?
What do you think of this?
A precious sleeve and valve? What should I think?
Never mind. How about this for a gem?
It is very beautiful, monsieur. And yet, I feel that there is an air of suffering about it.
I've got a medieval tripod. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church, then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah, oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Oh.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell. Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur. How pleasant to speak to you again.
No, I thought we'd
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
So the only other thing we've got to look at is that purple thing over there. I would imagine we can look at that. No, apparently we can't. There you go.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
We can look at this particular person.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess.
What do we do? Go back to the... If we go up this side? No, it just leads to the same. Okay, well the only thing I can think of doing is going to tell... Rosso that one of his police officers ain't working. See if we can get him out of the way so that we can open up the drain sewer thing.
Yes.
No way. No.
Just see if there's anyone we can call. Back. We'll go back to the cafe. Don't know. I don't think we have to be back here. So I don't think there's anyone we sort of need to see here. So I think this area is pretty much done. And go back to the museum. Speak with Lorino.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
Let's not show him the
Thanks for your help, Andre.
tripod because it's been stolen. Do not know what to say or do. Okay. Go speak to Nico. Maybe she's got
Hello, George.
a solution for us. No.
No way. I'd better get back to the quest.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Montfaucon and speak to this dude again.
Excuse me, officer. Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing, and not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Whoever heard of a plain-clothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon.
Ah. Okay, I just flicked through that because I just wanted to see if there was anything new. I would have obviously let it play if there was. So we're going to speak to the clown again, and we're going to show him the red nose again.
You with the balls.
Oui?
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No, I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
He looks very smug.
Okay, now for my secret weapon.
He hasn't got a nose on. Yay, they love me.
Was speechless with
They
rage.
love me. They
Could have mistaken
really
it for a
love
lion.
me.
And without a word, he collected his balls, and left in a fury.
You didn't click that one.
Hey! You forgot one of your balls! Hey! But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
Oh, that's handy. So now we can open up the... Okay. Down we go. Alright, let's have a look what we got.
If I wanted to get deeper into these catacombs, I was going to have to get onto that path. If the near edge hadn't crumbled away, I could have jumped it easily.
Okay, I needed to put the light. Okay, let's walk along here then, I would assume. There we go, right across the end. Okay.
The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone.
Okay.
The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier and something about innocence. My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, "This is where the gallows used to stand." Maybe.
Okay, so we know we can go down there. I want to look at this first. Alright, what was
the
putting...
hook lay in a bed of chain.
Let's head down here for a minute. There's a skull. Hanging man.
I pushed against the door, but it seemed to be locked.
Okay, it's a hanging man. Anything in my... No. Can't seem to... Okay, let's see if we can use anything in our inventory with that chain before we use anything on that. So if we go through. No, he didn't. No. That one? No. That one? No. The animate matchsticks? No. The identification card. Pressure. Gem? No. Tripod. The ball. What happens if I click it again then? Okay. Not entirely sure. I'm just going to have a look at the doors again.
My medieval French isn't... Maybe. The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier and something about innocence. The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The wall seemed in very poor condition. The inscription was undecipherable. The plaster had cracked and was falling away. I wondered why.
So that door sounds like it's weaker than the other two. So we're gonna...
It was time for some brutal destruction.
It's the hardest thing we have in our inventory. There we go.
Hey! That's hollow!
Oh.
I poked a hole in an historical site.
Probably not the best thing
If
to
any
do.
archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this.
They would indeed.
There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap. I'd pulled the lever right over.
Okay. So now what? Do that and then... and then put the chain on the door. There we are. To be fair, that looks long enough to go around the corner, George. We could have done it to the other door. Right, let's do it up. There we go. And they're going to lynch you even more because you've just destroyed our like 1,000-year-old door. Let's go in though. Got this still.
Boy, had I ever made a mess of that door.
You have indeed. I don't want to go out. Have a look at that. And it does go into a cavern though.
In the beginning was the end.
Oh.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness. In the end will be a beginning. An end to our enemies heralds our new day. Report.
The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations.
That's the doctor.
Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence!
I was going to say, if you think you're predecessors to the Templars, then there's going to be people who believe they're predecessors of the Assassins.
A trust. When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results. Not petty bickering. Not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course, my apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ah!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition. The next time that we meet, it will be to become the princess of this world!
Wow.
Okay. The Grandmaster claimed to be a Knights Templar. I really don't trust him at all. They're just a bunch of megalomaniacs planning a new order. Okay. Have a look, shall we?
There was a large circle marked out on the floor with a stump in the middle. Around the circle I could see words inlaid into the stone. On the circle's circumference were the Templar seal and 2 Latin phrases, Non omnis moriar and Clarior e tenebris. I shall not die completely, the brighter from the darkness. In the middle of the circle was a stump of stone, a shaft of daylight from the world above lancing down to touch it.
And with 3 dots, so guess what we're putting there?
The tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump.
And the gem, like the...
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays, and each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B.
Marib.
Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant.
Marib.
Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does
It's the game!
fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions.
Okay.
Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria. But they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria. You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
Okay.
Maybe not. Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
So guys, we have been playing for an extra long time. I'm just going back to Montificon because it's the last place we were at. Can we get George turned to the camera? Hello. So thank you very much for joining me today in Broken Sword. We have done lots more. We found out lots more about the Knights Templar, and we now know that we must go to Syria. See what more we can find out about the Broken Sword. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you liked what you saw, please can you click that like button. Also if you click the subscribe button, that would be great. If you'd like to see more Broken Sword and also anything else that we have on the channel already, or videos coming out in the future. If you click the bell, that will notify you as the videos come up live on our channel. This is goodbye from myself, Nico, and George, and Trinity, of course, and we hope you're staying safe. We hope you're all well, and me and Trinity will see you in future videos. Goodbye.